What up? What up? What up? What up, world? Chat. Uncle Presh, welcome to the Monday Jump Off number 61. And appreciate everybody rocking out with me because I'm rocking out with you. And, today we're going to continue to go over the 26 things that you can control. This is part two. And we're discussing your actions, your perspectives, how honest you are in the books you read. Now, these might sound like simple things, but they are actually things that go underneath the dialogue of things that you can control. So let's discuss your actions, things we do daily, how we get up, how we start our day, um, how we end how the things we do in the middle of our day, how we end our day, who we call our basic game plan, those small disciplines, those very small wins that we do on a regular basis to get us where we need to go. And it might not sound like a lot, but it does go a very long way. Just waking up, making your bed, or waking up, saying a quick prayer, then making your bed, and you know, even down to when you shower, how you brush, when you brush your teeth, like everything really matters. Those small things really, really matters. So I want to say your actions, right? And then now your perspective change. As you get older, wiser, of course your perspective should change. If you're still thinking the same way as if you are 16 and you're 37, that's a problem. That's a problem. So perspective has to change, has to develop, has to always be looking to evolve, always looking to better your mind frame, your thought process. I think all that stuff is really key because that's just called living, right? Living. I guess the saddest thing is people who never live, people who kind of just think life is this weird hamster wheel. Like they just do this home, they just go to work, go home, eat, sleep, wash, rinse, repeat, go to work, go home, watch TV, eat, sleep, wash, rinse, repeat. And so their mind can only go as far as that particular collective, because your perspective only gets better when you are able to challenge your theories and thoughts. So you are the product of the people you associate people you associate with, and people that you voice your opinion of things to, right? Your perspective. So I would say challenge your perspective and understand that your perspective can change. And change perspective is a good thing a lot of the times. So perspective. Um, Next, how honest you are. Transparency in your relationships will be the most beneficial. I know a lot of people don't like to be transparent or honest, or they like to keep a particular hidden mystique because it helps protect their feelings or their what's the word I'm looking for? Their hmm like their outside person, right? Their outside person, because sometimes people have two sides to them. They have their outside person and then they have their inside person. So their outside person, the person the world sees, is this perfect, um unrelenting person, and then there's this inside person that's not so perfect, that does have their up and downs, that does feel pain, that does get sick, and things of that nature. So, most people present their avatar. That's what I was looking for. So, uh, when you always just present an avatar and say your avatar in public is not really your avatar in private, that's going to be a conflict of just how honest you can be. But when you can practice, a particular grace and transparency in the avatars matching the private you, that's like a superpower, right? Like people just can't really hurt you. So even if you're saying like, yeah, I messed up here, this, that, and the third, or I'm going through this, it never really hurts you. It never stops you from pursuing your passion. It actually opens up more doorways the more honest you are. And the more you're really striving to reach a particular thing and letting people know, now I'm not okay with that. And this bothered me, or I need to work on this. How can I reach this new precipice on this particular thing? So I think that becomes truly the best thing. Like honesty is the best policy, but it takes that real confidence in yourself and your ability to accept certain outcomes from that honesty. So, but what it does to your character and how it builds you is a blessing. So how honest you are. Next is what books you read. I mean, truthfully, I'm a big person on like biographies and things of that nature. So I'm just not going to come on here and just be like, hey, you need to read the 48 Laws of Power. No, I would say, you need to work on your character and then read the 48 Laws of Power. That way you're not all mentally like mentally ghoulish, thinking everybody's after you and foolishness, like a lot of people who read it, because a lot of people read certain books with a child's mind. So I would say, start with a good autobiography, like the autobiography of Malcolm X, or even Titan, the autobiography of John D. Rockefeller was good. It's just a lot of good books. I'm a big autobiography person. I think autobiographies show you, the life of people and what they were going through, and put things like you can almost live through a particular time period. Like you're living through that time period to get the context and the feel, like, and you get to see how individuals were still able to develop. Because what's so crazy is nothing is new under the sun. It just comes in different rays, but nothing is truly new under the sun. And reading has really, for me anyway, has really helped me get through some of the wildest times in a cool, calculated condition, because your brain is able to always grab something to put things in perspective, right? And so the more you know, the less problems you tend to have. We all have problems, but with knowledge, you're able to sort through the problems. You have like a mental skill set for it. So yeah, like the books we read, there's a ton of books, just a ton. There's just so many books. Maybe I'll post a few of them at the very end. I'll do a whole list, and during the last part of just the books. Actually, no, I'll do a whole list of books during the last part. Maybe give like uh maybe 20 of my favorite books to read, and let the people go from there. Maybe even 40. I've read a lot of books. So I think one book is The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. I think that's just always a good book. Autobiography of Malcolm X for sure. Just start with those two, but I'll probably do like a 40 book list of my own personal favorites, because I'm just big on reading. I had a question. So that's part 2 of the 26 things that you can do. I had an interesting question. I wasn't going to answer it, but since she sent it, and she wants to stay anonymous about it, DM me. What is your take on the Jussie Smollett case? I mean, look, we don't know why people do the things that they do, and in retrospect, but I would just say this. I, for one, never want to see anybody go to jail. But sometimes for certain people, certain forms of stupidity, jail does a person good. So on that note, hopefully, he comes out of it a lot better, comes out of it, with a better understanding, and is able to move forward in his career, no matter how crazy it is. Like, like this, it, it was just wild shit, like basically he just did some wild shit for whatever reason. And that's a good, actually, controlling your actions right there. If you don't control how you act to things, your emotions, then, remember, emotions are good servants but poor leaders. So if you don't, if you listen to your emotions and you react and you do actions like this, doing extremely, and I mean extremely dumb actions, will get you in extremely piss poor places. No matter how much money you have, no matter how poor you are, it's just what it is. And also, too, who your friends are, who your family is. A lot of things need to be evaluated in this situation, because you had to speak to somebody, and people had to go like, yeah, that's a good idea. Go for it, man. Go for it. Like, you got to cut those people off. I don't care if they're blood or if you knew them since second grade. If they led you down that path of just pure stupid shit, then you cannot continue to associate with them. So that's just my view of it. I hope he gets better, and I hope he, builds a better team around himself and really get himself grounded in reality. Sometimes people feel they are bigger than what they are, and it's just not true. So on that note, I'm out. I'm Compresh. This has been a Monday jump off, just rocking out, number 61. And I'll see everybody next Monday. Peace.